Hello everyone, this is Colin. I'm very happy to be back on my YouTube channel to share with you some very practical and unbiased, truthful insight about the property market. Now, in a few days' time, a new condo in Jurong is going to be launched. The name is Jayden. I'm sure some of you may have heard of this project or even been asked to visit the show flat. So in this video, I'm going to share with you very honestly and truthfully what I feel about Jayden as a new launch, as well as the entire Jurong Transformation Story. All right, so without further ado, let's jump straight in. Okay, so let's look at the project itself first. Okay, let's look at the project itself. Now, as some of you may be aware, Jayden was the redevelopment of the former J Cube. So of course, J Cube is a shopping mall, very near to Jurong MRT. And some of you who have been there, you probably remember that it has probably the largest ice skating ring, Olympic size in the whole of Singapore. So Capital Land or Capital Mall was the owner of J Cube. So now Capital Land has gotten provisional permission from URA to redevelop the property into a mixed-use development called Jayden. All right. Now, a bit about the project. Okay. It is going to be one single tower, about 40 stories high. In fact, it is 40 stories high. And there are going to be a total of 368 units, ranging from 1 bedroom to 4 bedrooms, okay, in the future Jayden. And another thing to take note is that it is going to be the highest building in the entire Jurong Lake district once it is completed, standing at about 150 meters tall. Okay, now let's maybe look a bit about the site plan. Okay, site plan, nothing too fanciful or fantastic. Because it's just one single tower, so we don't see that it is there are a lot of facilities, right? But of course, the usual stuff they will have, for example, the swimming pool, you know, the garden, the greenery, the landscaping, and all this stuff. Okay, so most of the units are north-south facing, which is rather preferred by home buyers and investors. So for site plan, this is not a very big site. It cannot accommodate like 2 or 3 blocks of buildings. So one story, the rest are, as you can see, are just, you know, greenery or landscaping or pool facilities, right? Now, let's quickly move on to the floor plan, okay? A bit about maybe the breakdown of the units first. Let's look at the breakdown of the units. So we have got 1 bedroom and 1 bedroom plus study, so 37 units each. 2 bedrooms and 2 bedroom plus study, there are 74 units each. 3 bedrooms, 73 units. 3 bedroom plus study and 4 bedroom, 36 and 37 units respectively. So in terms of the allocation over here, we can see that usually for 1 bedroom and 2 bedrooms, these are the ones preferred by the investors. Of course, over in this area, there will still be a fair bit of buyers buying for homestay, because Jurong and Clementi, or in the western part of Singapore, I'm sure there are home buyers looking to upgrade and stay within the transformation or within walking distance to the shopping malls and MRT. So for 3 bedroom and 73 units, and for the larger units, okay, for larger units, 73 units for 3 bedroom, 3 plus study, and 4 bedroom, altogether it's about 130 over units, which is almost, I think this is about a third or slightly more than 1/3 of the total units. This is considered on a high side, meaning to say that the developer probably think that there will be a fair number of home buyers buying for homestay as compared to investors. Because some other projects, what we notice is that sometimes up to 70% or 75% are 1 and 2 bedrooms. Now, in terms of the size, I would say that it is very comfortable, especially if you look at a 3 bedroom, 1140 to 1180 square feet. So this is from the fact sheet. And what we see here is that this is very sizable, because a lot of 3 bedrooms these days, they are 900 plus square feet or even less than 1001 square feet. So for even the 2+ study is quite decent size, 810 to 850 square feet. Okay, let's move on to the look at the floor plan itself. Okay, floor plan itself. Because I don't want to spend too much time talking about the site plan and floor plan, because honestly, most of the condos you see these days, they are more or less the same size, the same layout. Okay, so quickly jump in to just cover the floor plan, cover the basic characteristics first, because I want to share with you the more juicy story later on, okay, about my take on the Jurong Transformation story. Okay, so let's look at the one bedroom. One bedroom, we see that for the kitchen, sorry, not kitchen. I'm looking at the entrance. You know, the kitchen is actually straight away after the entrance. Okay, one bedroom, nothing fantastic. Okay, open concept kitchen, and then one bedroom, one bathroom, and then that's it. Okay, so 1+ study is also more or less quite standard. 2-bedroom, okay. The only thing I will highlight is that dumbbell layout. Of course, this is quite preferred by most people because there's no wastage of the corridor space. So 1 bedroom on the left, 1 bedroom on the right. In the middle is the living hall. Open concept kitchen, but of course you can build maybe a kind of a glass sliding door or something to enclose the kitchen. Okay, to prevent the smoke or whatever to going into other parts of the living hall. Now, the 2+ study. 2+ study, I would say the study, what is odd is that the study is in between the master room and the bathroom. Meaning to say that if you are in the master room, you want to go to the bathroom, you need to walk past the study. This is rather strange. I don't know why they designed it this way. Okay, the study should be maybe outside, linked to the, it will be more practical if it's linked to the living or dining area so that the whole living space become bigger. Or if you want, you can make the master bedroom, you know, bigger. But by having the study attached directly to the master bedroom, I'm not sure what purpose does it serve. Does it serve as a walk-in wardrobe or something? I'm sure some people will do it as a walk-in wardrobe. Okay, so that's for 2+ study. 3-bedroom, 1141 square feet, 1184 square feet. Of course, this is quite good size. Nothing too extraordinary or strange about the layout. 4-bedroom. Okay, similarly, you know, there's a corridor. Okay, so that's about the site plan and floor plan. Now, let's talk a bit about the location. Jayden is probably going to be the best in terms of location for all the private condominiums in the whole Jurong Lake district, because of the fact that there are a few factors going for it. In terms of locational attribute, I think Jayden is probably the best. Okay. Now, why? Because it will be directly linked to the Jurong East MRT, which is currently served as an interchange for the Northeast line and of course, sorry, not the Northeast line, East-West line and the North-South line. So currently, it's already Jurong East is already sitting at the junction of North-South line and East-West line. Right now, by 2028, Jurong Regional Line will be ready, and Jurong East MRT will be one of the stops as well on the intersection of this Jurong Regional Line, which serve of course the western part of Singapore. Okay, the Choa Chu Kang, the Tengah, the Teban Gardens and Pandang area, all those places. All right. Now, additionally, by 2032, the phase 2 of the Cross Island Line will also be ready. And in Jurong Lake District, there will be another station. There will be another station, as you can see here. All right. So eventually, maybe in 10 years' time, there will be Jurong East or Jayden will be very much connected to 4 MRT lines in Singapore. East-West line, North-South line, Jurong Regional Line, as well as within very close proximity to the Cross Island Line. Now, furthermore, scheduled for completion in 2027, the Jurong East Integrated Transport Hub. We see this in various places in Singapore. Like for example, Ang Mo Kio, we have Clementi, we have. That means to say that you have got a bus station, MRT station, and the shopping mall all linked together. In short, all linked together. Okay. The Jurong East Integrated Transport Hub will include an air-conditioned bus interchange directly connected to the Jurong East MRT. Right. And of course, the specifics are, you can read this on the internet, but just very quickly go through. 24-story tower block connected by a sky bridge, and then another 8-story podium block or something, housing a public library, community club, a sports center, and some office and retail space. Okay. Now, what all this means is that Jayden will probably be unrivaled in terms of connectivity, prime location within the whole Jurong Lake district. All right. With all this, interconnectivity and close proximity to transportation. All right. Now, in terms of the expected pricing, let's look at the expected pricing. Now, let's not talk about those launches that were launched like 10 years ago, like J Gateway, or even those like Lake Grand and Lakeview. Those were like 8 years ago. Let's look at the current ones. The current new launches in Jurong Lake District. Now, May 2022, Wing Tai Holdings successfully en bloc Lakeside Apartments for a price of land cost, okay, of 1,250 PSF PPR. Okay, so it's currently being redeveloped into Lake Garden Residences, which has already been launched. Okay, has already been launched earlier this year. But of course, I think it wasn't very appealing. So the take-up rate on launch day wasn't very good. It was only about 23% so, or about 70 units out of the 306 units, if I remember correctly, at an average price of about 2,001 PSF. Now, another project, Parkview mentioned, was also successfully en bloc last July and sold to a consortium. Okay, Chip Beng Seng, KSH Holding, and Singhai Yi, right? And the land cost was about just slightly above 1,023 PSF PPR. Okay, so it is going to be redeveloped into a new project called Sora. Sora has not been launched, but it is probably going to be launched in first quarter next year. All right. Now, there's a third apartment in the Jurong Lake district called the Lakeside Towers. Now, Lakeside Towers has been launched for collective sale, but so far there's still no outcome. Right. So for Jayden, because Capital Land or Capital Mall actually owns the shopping mall. So in terms of land cost, there's no land cost. It is not a GLS. It is not an en bloc. It is just a redevelopment of an existing property which Capital Land already owns. Right now, based on HPROP report, it says that prices are going to start from 2,001 per square feet. Now, if you look at the price, if Lake Garden Residences earlier a few months ago was sold at a price of 2,001 per square feet as well, Jayden enjoying better locational attributes, I don't think it should fare lower than 2,001 per square feet. In fact, I think it will probably be higher. Okay. Now compare with resale the last 2 months. Resale, if let's say we look at resale, for example, in J Gateway or Lake Grand or Lakeview, for example, J Gateway is already closing in at about closing into $2,000 per square feet at about 1,009 per square feet. And we are talking about 1 bedrooms here, 1 and 2 bedrooms here. Okay, 1 and 2 bedrooms here. In the last 12 months, J Gateway is already trading at about $1,900 per square feet. All right. So if today Jayden is going to be launched at 2,001 per square feet, I would think that it is really a steal, because between a new condo and an existing condo that's been there for 10 years, J Gateway, the price gap is only $200 per square feet. I think it's a steal. I think it's a steal. I think it's a very, very, very good deal. Usually, we don't see this kind of price gap. The price gap should be wider, maybe like $400 to $700. I think that's justifiable, right? Now, in terms of the turnout, if you want to see the expected, make a kind of guess what kind of response Jayden is going to get come this Saturday, 11th of November, when it's going to officially launch for sale. You just look at the number of visitors that has been reported. Now, HPROP says that on the first weekend, which is over the last, just not the one that has just passed, but the weekend on the 28th or 29th of August, 7,000 people went to visit the show flat for Jayden. Okay, now 7,000 people in one weekend visiting a new launch show flat. Is this a big number or small number? Let's try and make sense of it. For the whole of this year, based on record, based on what I can research and find, Grand Dunman received about 10,000 visitors on the first weekend that it was on preview. 10,000 visitors. But of course, that Grand Dunman is a bit different because Grand Dunman is a huge project of 1,000 units, a huge land plot. And obviously, there has been a lot of spillover interest from the earlier launches in District 15, like Continuum as well as Tambusu. All right, so property agents may have likely brought those people who have gone to view Tambusu and Continuum who didn't buy and bring them to go and see Grand Dunman. Okay, so Grand Dunman on first weekend is what, 10,000 people. Now, the other major launch this year was Reserve Residences back in May this year. And there were 6,000 people who went to visit the show flat on the first weekend. So 6,000 is also a fairly high number. What about the rest of the other launches? Okay, I just give you some quick mention. Okay, Botany, 4,600 people. Blossoms by the Park, 4,000. Pine Tree Hill, only 1,005 people on the first weekend. Where's Botany? Botany is somewhere in Hillview area. Hillview, oh no, actually Dairy Farm area. Blossoms by the Park is in Buona Vista. Pine Tree Hill is near Clementi. So you see all this, the three Botany, Blossoms by the Park, as well as Pine Tree Hill, they were all doing less than 5,000 for the first weekend. And now we have got Jayden, who is doing 7,000 visitors. So you can see that clearly, a lot of the buyers, the investors, the homeowners are probably quite excited, okay? Quite excited to see this new project, which is the first within the, Jurong MRT area, the first in the last 10 years after J Gateway in 2013. So definitely, I think the lack of new launch in Jurong MRT area certainly contributed to the hype to drive so many people to see the show flat, as well as probably the locational attributes. Now, having mentioned all these things, I think those are the more of the factual things, right? Now, let me share with you maybe a bit of my opinion in terms of how I think this Jayden is going to perform, all right? Or is it answer the, the all-important question. If let's say you are looking to buy Jayden, is it really worth your investment or your money? Okay. Now, today, there's a lot of things on the social media going on, a lot of information out there. And I always feel that sometimes, or many times, a lot of times, or most of the times, the information that buyers get into contact with, or buyers here or investors here, a lot of them are propagated, of course, by property agents, developers, and obviously their intention is to make you want to buy or sell the project to you. Let's say developers want to sell to you, agents want to sell to you because they can, make money, they can earn a commission. So, which is nothing wrong, but that also leads to the problem of sometimes you don't know whether something you hear maybe in the media or from a property agent, whether is it really objective and useful for you. Okay, because property being a $1 million, high ticket item, you don't want to make a mistake. You make a mistake is very painful because it is going to take you a long time for you to unwind the mistake. You lose time, you lose money, lose energy, you may even lose your relationship. Imagine husband and wife, they get into a quarrel for this kind of issues. Now, so what I'm trying to share with you here is that I will give you a very quick overview of the whole Jurong as the second CBD idea. Okay, now the Jurong we see today, of course, is very different from the Jurong we see 20 years ago or even 15 years ago. In fact, 15 years ago in 2008, it was the first time it was mentioned, all right, that Jurong is going to be the second CBD in the whole of Singapore. Okay, just look at this newspaper article or report. So it was mentioned in 2008, but not much was being done actually there until 2014. Okay, 2014, our Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, during the National Day rally, actually talked about the transformation of the Jurong Lake District, okay, to make it into what it is going to be like today, what we are seeing today. So before 2014, there were probably one or two things going on. If I remember correctly, I think there were probably like, Vision Exchange was built during that time, was launched during that time. So there was office. Then maybe I think, if I'm not wrong, Westgate or GEM was also built around before 2014. So yes, there were one or two shopping malls, one or two offices, coming up in around the Jurong MRT area, but it wasn't like a lot of hype going on. Until 2014, we can officially pinpoint, our Prime Minister mentioned this on National Day rally, it got a lot more focus. Okay, now the first condo that was being launched in the Jurong Lake area, okay, was actually Lakeview. That was launched sometime, if I remember correctly, was around 2013 or 2014. All right, okay, 2014, okay, 2014 April, at a price of $1,400 per square feet. At a price of $1,400 per square feet. That was the first condo that's being launched. That was being launched. So you can imagine, if the Prime Minister mentioned about the transformation of Jurong area on national TV during National Day rally, Lakeview would have caught onto the hype and riding the wave of, optimism of the transformation over there. And we would expect Lakeview to actually be one of the hottest selling condos during that year, during that time, 2014, when it was being launched. Okay, so 1,004 per square feet in 2014, is it expensive for that area? I would say it was not expensive, but it was very cheap as well. Then the second condo that was being launched there was 2 years down the road, Lake Grand, sometime in July 2016, at a price of same price, 1,004 per square feet. 1,004 per square feet. So back to Lakeview, since Lakeview actually caught the hype earlier because Prime Minister mentioned this. Lakeview, 2014, launched at a price of 1,004 per square feet. If we just compare the performance, after 5 years, in 2019, how did Lakeview do? We can check the records. 2019, the price of Lakeview was not higher. In fact, the price of Lakeview didn't go up. Okay, you can look at the records. These are the records I found. 2019, Lakeview still stayed at a price of 1,400 PSF. So you have got a new launch, despite many property agents saying that you buy new launch, you should make money, you should have capital appreciation. You have got a classic example here, and it's not just any example. This is Lakeview. This is sitting in Jurong Lake District. This is riding on the wave of optimism after the National Day rally by Prime Minister. After 5 years, no capital appreciation, 1,004 per square feet. Now, and this is my point. I call this the future transformation fallacy, that a lot of agents you hear, they like to say this thing. They like to say this thing like, URA master plan is going to transform this place, like, for example, Jurong Lake area, Great Southern Waterfront, the removal of the Paya Lebar Air Base, and all these places. So certain parts in Singapore, we know it's going to be transformed in the next 10, 20, 30 years, or even longer. Okay, because this is just the entire plan of how Singapore is going to be developed in the next 50 years. But, when you hear so many of these things, and you see a classic example here in Lakeview, which riding on the wave of optimism and riding on the Jurong transformation story, it didn't appreciate at all after 5 years. You somehow wonder whether is it still true that we can really depend on urban transformation or URA transformation to bring about an increase in price, capital appreciation for the new launch that you're buying. I give you one very good comparison. So that is a Lakeview story. That is the Lakeview story. 2014 to 2019, no appreciation, 1,004 per square feet. If I didn't buy Lakeview in 2014, assuming I bought Sims Urban Oasis just 1 year later in 2015, and 2015 was the year that Sims Urban Oasis was launched. Sims Urban Oasis is located on the other side near Aljunied MRT. I would pay about 1,004 per square feet as well, same price as Lakeview, 1,004 per square feet for me to buy Sims Urban Oasis in 2015 as a new launch, and make a guess, from 2015 to 2019, how much did my Sims Urban Oasis make? I bought Sims Urban Oasis at 1,004. By the time 2019 comes about, my value has gone up by $200 per square feet, 1,006 per square feet. I make money. And we are talking about our Aljunied area. It's not like in the heart of Paya Lebar where there's a lot of transformation as well. We are talking about our Aljunied. So what I'm trying to say here is that sometimes don't get too caught up by this kind of urban transformation, URA master plan, or whatever that property agents or developers like to throw all these big terms at you, telling you that, promising you that, or giving you the very nice rosy picture that, oh, this place, that place is going to transform. They're going to have more things here. And as a result, the price will magically go up. Singapore property, it doesn't really work this way. You look at this Lakeview example, you look at Sims Urban Oasis. Sims Urban Oasis would have easily beaten Lakeview hands down, okay? In the same 5 to 6 year period, Sims Urban Oasis will have made a lot more money. So back to yourself, you ask yourself this question. If you can make, let's say, 100,000, 200,000 in terms of capital appreciation within a period of, let's say, 4 to 5 years, would you want to do it? Of course, I'm sure you would. Why would you want to wait like 10, 15 years to make the same amount of money where you can make in 5 years? So this is what an investor should be thinking of. But unfortunately, I feel today a lot of, those kind of talk by agents, sometimes they are more sales driven or more salesy rather than, being investor focused or investor centric. That's just my opinion. All right. Now, that is up to 2019, 2020. Now, what happens after that till today? From the time 2020 pandemic came until today, what happened? Of course, the entire resale market in Singapore went up. HDB prices went up, condo prices went up. And I'm talking about resale properties only. Resale property, not new launches. New launches, we know, of course, will go up. I mean, the land cost is going up. That's why developers have to sell you more. But resale properties, it also went up as well. So J Gateway, Lakeview, Lake Grand, even though their prices didn't do very well between the period of 2013 to 2019, but after 2019, after the pandemic came and during the last 2 years, actually it all went up, all went up as well. Now, what is the reason that the prices of these, let's say 3 resale condo, J Gateway, Lakeview, and Lake Grand went up? There are a few reasons actually, but these are the bigger ones, the major reasons. One of the big reasons is that there were a lack of new launches after 2020, 2021 because government sold less GLS land. Okay, so that led to less new projects being launched, and as a result, buyers have less choice. They can't really buy new launch because there were a lack of new launches. So they went back to buy resale. The other reason is because COVID came, and of course we had disruption in terms of supply, logistics, manpower, and all these things. And HDB BTO were being delayed. Condo new launches were being delayed. As a result, what happened? A lot of people turned to resale HDB and resale condo and bought them. And that pushes up the price as well. Okay. Of course, during those periods, also during the last few years, there were also no en bloc because there was the last en bloc fever came about 2016 to 2018. No en bloc means no new supply of new condos, right? And the last reason was about the dwindling supply of the new condos. A lot were launched around the period of 2017, 2018, 2019. And by the time 2020, 2021, 2022 came about, there were already not many of the existing condos left for people to buy. And added to the issue of lack of new launches, seriously, buyers have no choices, they have to buy resale. And that actually pushed up the price. So across Singapore, new launches, resale, condo, resale HDB, all went up in the last 2 years, as you can see in this report. Now, coming back to the potential outlook, do I think, you should be buying Jayden? There are, of course, 1 or 2 good things going for it. If I say, if J Gateway is being sold at 1,009 per square feet, and if going by the report that HPROP predicts, Jayden is going to launch at 2,001 per square feet. And if it's really 2,001 per square feet, I think it's going to be a steal. But I think it's very unlikely because 2001 per square feet is probably like low floor, or for the 4 bedrooms where the PSF is lower, or ground floor where there's a big big PES space. Okay, and don't forget the stacking effect, because this is a 40-story tower. So maybe the second floor is 2001. By the time you reach maybe the mid floor or the higher floor, probably the price already went up to 2004, 2005. Okay, and if you compare the launch day price of a few earlier major launches that happened in Singapore for earlier part of this year, for example, Reserve Residences, Pine Tree Hill, Grand Dunman, what were the prices that their 1 or 2 bedrooms were launched? It is actually at a price range of $2,003 to $2,005 per square feet, 23 to 25 per square feet. Now, I think Jayden most likely will be priced around this range as well, $2,003 to $2,005 per square feet. That's just my opinion. So the question is, do I still think that you can buy, or should you still buy? As I said, there are 1 or 2 good things for going for Jayden. In terms of location, it has very strong attributes. And sitting in the heart of the entire JLD, Jurong Lake district, I think it has its advantages. So I would expect a lot of people, like 7,000 people, went for the preview. I think it will translate to quite a strong take-up rate this Saturday when it's being officially launched. I won't be surprised all the 1 and 2 bedrooms will wipe out. And maybe 30 to 50% of the 3 bedrooms will be gone as well. All right. So I think most buyers are buying into the, I wouldn't say hype, but buying into the belief that the future of Jurong will be optimistic, will be rosy, will be good, right, in terms of capital appreciation. Now, however, I've already just now pointed out the urban transformation fallacy. That means to say that sometimes it doesn't translate in such a way, right? For example, Lakeview is a very classic example, very classic example. So this kind of thing about the development of the entire Jurong Lake area will take probably the next, I don't know, 10, 20 years or even 30 years to materialize, because there's such a big area. And now we are just maybe a continuation of what started in 2008. All right. So the thing is that, as I said, is this the best project to buy? Seriously, I wouldn't say so. I won't say it's a lousy project, but I wouldn't also straight away put my money there and say that this is the best project for 2023, because seriously, you just think of it this way. If you're going to buy a new launch $2,003, $2,005 per square feet in Jurong, in Jayden, and pay this price, okay, what kind of price can you exit? Maybe you want to sell at $2,008, $3,000 per square feet. 5 years, 7 years down the road, you have to ask yourself this question: can Jurong Lake District or Jayden hit this kind of price in the next 5 to 6 years? I would think it is probably a bit challenging. Of course, there are counter arguments. Some people will say, especially property agents will say, oh, you look at the entire Jurong Lake District, there are a lot of white sites. There are a lot of white sites. In fact, currently, a white site is being sold, 3 plots of land, 6.5 hectares, is being sold under the government land sale program. And progressively, I think in future, there will be more and more white sites being sold as well. The thing is that, yes, all these white sites are being sold, but you can't control the timing when it's going to be sold. Just like Lakeview, 2014 was launched. Lake Grand came in 2016, but after Lake Grand, there was nothing until now. So from 2016 until now, 2023, for a good 7 years, there was nothing. No new launches happening in Jurong Lake area. As a result, Lakeview and Lake Grand, their price stagnate. They cannot move up because they are already the price leader. They need something more expensive to push up the price, right? If you look at, let's say, recent en bloc, okay, the most recent en bloc is Shenton House. Okay, Shenton House, you look at the news. So at a price of 1,889 PSF PPR. If you seriously think that the white sites in Jurong Lake District can be sold at a similar price, 1,889 PSF PPR, and hopefully the new launch that's going to come up in JLD, Jurong Lake District, in the next year or the year after next is going to be launched at $3,000 per square feet, and now today you're buying at $2,003, $2,005, and you think it's good value, I seriously don't think this is going to happen. right? In fact, you look at the recent GLS land bid prices by developers. I think developers also know the number of bidders for each GLS is getting lower. The price is getting lower as well. Meaning, what does this mean? Developers are being more cautious. They are more careful, and they are not as aggressive in terms of bidding the land as previously. And this whole thing changed actually after December 2021, when the government increased the ABSD. So for us now, the second Singapore citizen, the second property is actually 20%, no longer 17%. That was changed in December 2021. So nowadays, developers are more cautious in terms of buying GLS land. In terms of en bloc, also you don't see much activities except those very small plots like 100 million, 200 million, which are within the appetite of some developers. But those mega sites like 500 million, 1 billion, 2 billion, it's not moving, it's dead. All right. So in conclusion, I think that the positive location, proximity to transportation is definitely one big key plus factor for Jayden. First mover advantage as well, because subsequently the white sites around Jayden or Jurong Lake District will be sold by developers, and we are not sure, we just hope that the price will be higher so that you can have capital appreciation. But that is probably all I can think of, to be honest, okay? Because today, I think Singapore property market is still trying to find its way to go forward after 2021, 2022 of robust growth, right? We have got 3 rounds of cooling measures since in the last 2 years, and there's a lot of increasingly geopolitical uncertainty. Like for example, 2 years ago we saw the Ukraine war is still fighting today. Recently, we have got the Israel-Hamas conflict. China-US tensions are always there. So all these kind of geopolitical uncertainty add to the fact that post-COVID recovery has not been as fast or as optimistic as some people have hoped. Global economy is also slowing down, especially China, and we are still in a high interest rate environment. I think this year, next year, the property market is going to be a bit slow. Okay, a bit slow. That's the reality. I mean, we cannot always expect that properties to surge higher and higher. There will be some up moments, there will be some leaner times. So if you are, buying into the long term, long term meaning at least a good 8 to 10 years of, investment into the Jurong Lake District or the Jurong Lake Transformation Story, I think it's okay. But if you are looking at a quick turnaround, what property agents used to say, you make 6-figure capital appreciation in just 3 years, 5 years, those kind of things. I think today's environment is more and more challenging because you look around, all the new launches are selling about 2003, 2004 per square feet. It is not so easy for you to on-sell next time at $2,008 or $3,000 per square feet in even the next 4 to 5 years. Okay, definitely things have to catch up, meaning that prices can go up, but people have to be able to afford. People have to be able to afford. And it's not just new launch keep going up and then resale, if cannot catch up, then we have a disconnect there, right? Now, so this is my honest sharing for Jayden, new launch coming this Saturday. I hope you have benefited. So in case you find my sharing very refreshing or a breath of fresh air, not like some of the usual property talks or sales pitch that you have heard, do subscribe to my channel, smash the like button, so next time when I do a similar video, you'll be notified. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.